Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I want to start with condolences to George Metz, aka Rogue Nation, who lost his appeal. He took it all the way to the Georgia Supreme Court for, I think, 2 misdemeanor convictions. Uh, anyway, my condolences to you, George. I don't know if you've served time on that already, or if it's been, uh, if it's been put on hold pending the outcome of your appeals. But good luck to you and your family. I don't like people doing jail time, and I don't know if he got jail time, but if he did, actually, I really do feel bad for you and your family. So hopefully you learned lessons. But then let's go back to Lane Myers, because I think he's a lot more interesting than George Metz. So thank you for the people who sent me the police report in my Discord. Jim Finch had already provided me with a copy of the police report. In my Discord, there is a curated doc section that Jim Finch has graciously and kindly put a lot of documents in, either directly or through proxies. But a lot of the documents I have are courtesy of Jim Finch, so thank you again. Tip of the hat to Jim Finch. The document on Metz was provided duly by the Frog. Thank you, the Frog, as well as by Jasper Kalin. Thank you, Jasper Kalin. Both have been very helpful in providing me documents in the past. So I had the police report, and the police report, it's interesting, it's fun, but it is hearsay. Police reports are generally overvalued by people who don't really know how courts work. In order for a police report to be admitted into evidence, you have to get around the whole hearsay thing. Now, different courts or systems are going to do it different ways. In California, normally what you do is you get it in under the business records exception. You have a custodian of the records appear at trial and testify that it's a true and accurate copy of the business record, and that is a hearsay exception. Now, if it's offered for the for the truth of what the party opponent is saying, then that's a hearsay exception, so you could do that. If it's offered for the proof of what your side is saying, then it might still be a hearsay issue. So yeah, so they're not terribly useful. The reason why I want the actual court documents is because Hendricks had to make specific allegations about what DirectD did, and I personally believe that there is just an insane amount of hypocrisy going on and lies on the Myers side of the equation. Now, I don't follow DirectD at all. I don't know that I've ever watched any of his videos. He doesn't seem to be a very interesting person. The only reason why I'm talking about him at all is because he was mentioned in the police report. But there are some other interesting things in the police report that were stated by Lane Myers that I find interesting. So the police report was, and I could be slightly wrong on the dates, but I'm going to be within a few days anyway. I believe it was March 11th of 2025. So this is post him having a restraining order against him, because I believe the injunction against harassment that was done by his alleged victim was done, I think, in November of 2024. I could be wrong on the dates, give or take, plus or minus. You get the idea. And at the trial on the injunction against harassment in Lane Myers' case, he said that his wife had been fired, that she was no longer working as a federal attorney or federal law clerk. She was clerking, I guess, for a federal judge, which doesn't really make her a federal attorney. And in fact, I don't know what he means specifically by federal attorney, because that could be a U.S. attorney or assistant U.S. attorney. It could be a JAG. Those are federal attorneys, right? It could be some like a civil attorney for some agency or whatever, like a I don't even know. But it's very unclear. I don't know what exactly he means by federal attorney. Anyway, so on March 11th ish of 2025, which is post allegedly his alleged wife, who's not his wife, getting fired, allegedly by the actions of the alleged victim of the victim, I should say, since it has been adjudicated, she is the victim in the injunction against harassment against Myers. Who knows? But he's saying on March 11th that his wife, air quotes wife, is a federal attorney. And that's why the police need to get the Federal Bureau of Investigation out there, because someone threw rocks through his window. And that's obviously something the Federal Bureau of Investigation needs to get involved in. Now, Lane Myers is not a likable person. Most people don't like him. Most people who have to interact with him and don't get to just sit back and eat popcorn and watch him on the screen, but the people who actually have to interact with him don't seem to like him very much. His attorney doesn't like him. The people at whatever auto parts store didn't appear to like him. I mean, he doesn't seem to garner a lot of good, positive vibes from people. So who knows why someone or anybody threw rocks through his window, which apparently sound like gunshots. I don't know. But the point that I'm making is that his alleged wife was allegedly a federal attorney on March 11th of 2025. And 2 days later, his alleged wife tells the police that she has a restraining order against DirectD, and apparently showed them the restraining order against DirectD. So where are the hordes of Lane Myers supporters calling out Lane Myers for his hypocrisy? If, in fact, his alleged wife is, in fact, a federal attorney, then isn't she subject to the same kind of scrutiny that a administrator at a state university would be subject to? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that any of the arguments that Lane Myers and or his supporters made have any water. They don't carry any water. They're garbage. But they believe their arguments. They believe their arguments. And if allegedly they believe their arguments, and I really don't think they do, but allegedly they believe their arguments. And so why aren't they applying the same, air quotes, logic and air quotes, facts to Lane Myers's alleged wife's injunction against harassment? Why aren't they saying, wait a minute, hold up, you're a public employee. DirectD can call you out as much as he wants. He's just making videos. It's his First Amendment right. And I'm also wondering, like, if he did contact her, well, wouldn't he have the right to contact his public officials? Wouldn't he have that right? Wouldn't he? And obviously, I'm being somewhat facetious because it was a shit argument when Lane Myers supporters were using it to support Lane Myers, but now they're not using it to support DirectD. I mean, why the double standard? It's not just Lane Myers' hypocrisy. It's his supporters' hypocrisy. Why aren't they out there with pitchforks and torches going after Lane Myers, saying, why are you trying to shut down another guy's First Amendment? And yes, I'm using their language. It's stupid. It hurts me when it comes out of my mouth. But these are the kind of words they say. But they only say it for Lane Myers against a school administrator, a law school administrative personnel, whatever. Like, don't you think a federal attorney would be more subject to scrutiny? Would have more say in any of this? Would have more power? Would have more privilege? Should be subject to more scrutiny than the administrator of special projects or something at a law school, who's mainly involved in fundraising endeavors? I mean, it's just absurd. It's just absurd. The hypocrisy is absurd. It's funny. I get called out by the pro auditors and the anti auditors. I mean, pretty much whatever side I take, I'm getting called out by one side or the other, but I always take the same side. And my arguments are always the same. But Lane Myers supporters are just the kings and queens of hypocrisy. And Lane Myers is their emperor with no clothes. You know? Because literally every argument that he has made, or his little bootlickers have made, saying that Lane Myers shouldn't be convicted or have a harassment restraining order against him, can be used for Direct D. Now, as far as Direct D is concerned, I don't know. I haven't asked him. But, I mean, if someone knows, put it in the comment section. I don't know if he was ever personally served a copy of the order, the ex parte order that she allegedly got, that Lane's alleged wife allegedly got. And I don't believe that it can be enforced against him unless and until he's been served. So even though there might be a restraining order out there, I don't believe that it's actually effective against him until he's been served. Because once again, under the Constitution of the United States, even as applied to the states through the 14th Amendment, you are afforded due process. You have to be given notice and an opportunity to be heard. Notice would be him getting served. And then his opportunity to be heard would be like what Lane did, where he would file a motion to get a hearing on it, where it would be a contested hearing. It'd be a trial to determine, where the court would look at all the facts as presented by both sides and make a brand new de novo ruling on the issue. So anyway, what I want to see, again, is not the police report. I had a copy of it. I've had multiple people email me more copies of it. Thank you all. I appreciate it. But what I'm looking for are the court documents that she filed. Her petition, whatever. Direct D may have it. If he has it, if you could have him send it to me, I'd love to go over it. If he doesn't have it, if someone else down there in Arizona has it or can get a copy of it, I would love to see it. I'll go over it. I mean, if you want me to go over it, then send it to me. If you don't want me to go over it, well, then don't send it to me. But I would love to go over it because I think all of this is hilarious. I love hypocrisy and I love pointing it out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.